Hello everyone and welcome back to Wixo. I haven't updated the map since the last episode, so all these new countries don't have provinces yet or stability. But anyway, let's get back into it. So there's some more exploration in the continent of Europe. Let's get started with something that we are is going to happen. New nations. It's guaranteed. After this much exploration happened. First country is New Rome, known as New Rome. Now, this Roman country, Roman country, we, their one flaw about this country is probably is the fact that they're so new. That's why they're weak. Well, they're weak because they're new. Yeah. You wouldn't just be strong because you're new. That's not how that works. And there's some more updates to Europe, like this. Now, Europe seems more and more explored. As a continent, Europe seems to be one of the more explored continents. Now here's a European, North European kind of republic here. What they consider Northern Europe kind of republic. But that's not even really northern. Excuse me, but I'm going to give these guys the Dutch color. Keep in mind, this isn't Adis Pro's Dutch team. This is a completely different Dutch. In fact, they're Belgians. That just proves to you that this is not for the Dutch Empire for Adis Pro's Wixo. This is not the Dutch from Adis Pro's. Completely separate country. They have nothing to do with each other. Now, anyway, China. What's new with you? Besides the fact that you're getting invaded again. So, in a kind of repeat of history, this China invades into the China having the Civil War. This is kind of like retelling history, kind of, because it's just happening again, and these guys decide to get on the jumping. So one country just got cut off completely from the front line, unfortunately for them. Being this country, yeah, unfortunately for them, they just lost a lot. China is struggling to keep on going. No, checking the major cities layer. China just lost a ton. This China is getting. No, they're still weaker, though these two countries combined can beat them. And with their civil war going on, they can kind of just take advantage of the fact that China is a weak nation. Now, going over to Korea, all the trust they built between these two nations has got over the last few episodes is kind of being annihilated with the fact that Korea just made a landing in China. Very crazy how Korea says they're one of the biggest allies of China. Then does the pulls this off. Wow, Korea. I can't believe you. But China is still able to defend their capital, though that comes at a cost. And that cost is the fact that North China takes a couple of major cities and definitely a lot of China's population. And, well, Blue China, everybody's happy to be back under Blue China. And if they're not Blue Chinese, they're just happy to be under the rule of a country that's not this South Chinese country, because they're kind of the worst in their opinion. And anyway, the green team now kind of is going to take this city and this city. They make an agreement to have occupation over the city, and they also agreed on it. Now these guys quickly also have some expansion to do. Taking this major city and not that much of China. Where's that infamous 1 pixel? I know I hate. And I know I hate that 1 pixel. And now, this is kind of what the world is looking like. A lot more full of small countries than big countries like China. No, China's still fighting. And quickly, we're going to head over to Japan. So Japan, what's going on with Japan? So exploration in Japan is going, well, exploration of the ocean is not what I planned for this episode. That was not in the cards for this episode, so no, we're not exploring the ocean. No, we're not creating new land. Bad civilizations. Instead, you gotta keep your current land good. Yeah, these guys are going to explore up here and take this. This is starting to seem a little weirder. Things are starting to seem more and more, well, not weirder. I just blurted out the first word that came out of my head that I could think of in my head. Like, oh, what word can I think of right now? Weird. Yes, that's it. But there's nothing weird about this at all. Nothing weird has even happened in this episode. Besides for the fact that China tumbled so easily, though, makes sense. They tumbled so easily. Honestly, it makes sense why they tumbled and lost so easily in the war. Though China's still fighting, it's just only the Capital Guard. Capital Guard versus everyone else. Not a very good battle to be in for the Capital Guard. Not going to have a good outcome if you're a part of the Capital Guard. Anyway, sorry about the background noise if you hear it. But if you don't, good. And just one thing, I don't know if you hear it or not. I don't watch my own videos. I'm sorry, it's the truth. I don't watch my own videos. It's like how I believe I said this in a video, that everybody like hates the sound of their own voice. They just think that it makes them sound childish. Like if someone else sounds like that, you're not gonna mind, but if you sound like that, oh my gosh. My voice is so squeaky! Kind of thing. That's kind of like the thought process there. And I bet my voice. And my voice is the same way. I'm that exact same way. And yeah. Up here, China is kind of humiliated. Even more humiliation happens when these Chinese people just cut down and take this. Yeah, they just cut down and take it without any resistance at all. North China feels like they have just failed. Now, China is declining. The rest of the world is growing. Like, the red team, these guys are growing their influence. Like, the red team gained influence over here and here. And these guys gained influence around here. So it's kind of like a weird thing. But yeah. Anyway, there's something happening now back in the capital. Slowly forces start moving their way down to the capital, though they're all stopped. Chinese capital guard is too weak, though Korean forces. Well, the Chinese capital guard is too strong. The Korean forces come in to the capital and take it. There's no more capital city left for them anymore. They no longer own the capital, but they're a nation, and they no longer exist, though no one can agree on who gets what out of the treaty. So eventually they do agree on something, and that will look something like. Anyway, the peace treaty looks like this. Yeah. China looks basically unintelligible. It looks so much different. And Korea also looks power hungry. Looks more like it wants more power than it ever has. Anyway, all this light land over here. Oh, whoops. Colored on the wrong layer. My bad. Oopsies. We're have to turn off provinces. Again, they were not updated after the episode, so don't blame me. Oh, no. Oh. Whoops. Now this should work. Okay, great. So, this is what Africa is looking like out there. All the exploration that's been going on in the past few episodes. Africa is being more and more explored. See, Africa might be like wholly filled in soon. But this northern area is going to be hard to fill in. Anyway, heading over here, there's going to be some more exploration up here, looking to taking for all of around this land. This is like a big thing, having all of this land be explored, because now a lot of land is explored. Europe is starting to become fully explored. The European exploration, with the goal of this European exploration, Russia was to fill in the whole continent. Well, to find what's more of this continent, because they believe there's more to this continent than just what they know. That assumption was actually a pretty smart assumption, because that is a correct assumption. Honestly, Russia is where a lot of intelligent people live. A lot of intelligent people in this world live in Russia. Kind of in other people's episodes too, like looking at like Augusto's episode stuff. They're able just to create a lobotomy gas, so yeah, that is big. Anyway, Russia claims a lot of this land actually because they Russians believe that since they explored it, they should own it. And they take all of this and add it in to the Russian Empire, as they call it. They call their country the Russian Empire because they're kind of like an empire. They are really a big empire. They're big for a nation that was just established in episode 10. But I'm not complaining. No one's complaining though. So I'm going to keep on expanding though. Well, I haven't seen anybody complain about them, but that's probably because I'm recording this episode before that episode comes out. I should really stop pre-recording these episodes. I really love to pre-record them. Unlike other YouTubers that don't really want to pre-record it. That like kinda have to pre-record, but I just pre-record because I'm excited to record that day, and I already have like a ton of videos stacked up, a ton of like some videos I've already done still need to come out that still need to come out still, so they're kind of still yeah. And anyway, a big exploration thing happens up here, and the guys these guys up here are going to explore all of this land. And they decide to set up our home state over here to keep all their equipment in. Not really like a country, rather, but they're not really even a country that much, but they are a country just set up by other countries to be what they need them to be, not what they want to be. So they're not really like in control of their own country. So this might lead to kind of like revolution of people living here. There's barely any, but I assure you there is some people. Now, this world map is starting to look better and better. We are 18 minutes up to this episode, so I've gotten a lot done for 18 minutes of recording. Like 18 minutes of work, but really it's more than 18 minutes because I got to do all the peace treaties off camera and stuff. And edit, just kidding, I don't edit my videos. That might be why I don't get views at all, because I don't edit anything. I'm too lazy to figure out how the feature works to edit stuff. Eventually, I'm gonna have to start editing my videos. For now, I haven't started yet. Honestly, next I might have to make that my New Year's resolution. Oh, wait. Sorry about that, everyone. There was some background noise from my dad talking to our dog. And yeah, talking to our dog Daisy. And no, I'll never show her in a video. I've never even shown myself in a video. You don't know what I look like. For all you know, I could be a bald, skinny dude, or some guy with a six-pack, or some Aryan with a six-pack. Who knows? Who knows? Not you, that's for sure. And oh my goodness, this country wouldn't be sustainable in modern day, but it's sustainable because it has not a lot of people. And Africa is seeming to become more and more discovered. Whoops, my bad. No, as the episodes go on, this map is getting more and more detailed. Anyway, more exploration is going to be happening down here because there's been very little exploration since the start of the Wixo, and this might actually be the oldest border in the world now because of the destruction of China, the kind of collapse of the Chinese Empire, and one country that's celebrating it, by the way, is the red team. You might already know this, but the red team would be celebrating. I mean, it's implied because their enemy just got destroyed. It's like America after the Soviet Union collapsed. Parties on every block. No more nuclear annihilation. Not really, but the citizens are actually like kind of forced to party. Well, they're oligarchy, but they're they're under the Arabian oligarchy. So yeah, not under authoritarianism or anything. Nothing like that. Just they don't have that much freedom like everyone else in the world at this time. They don't have freedoms for most things. And yeah, the notice that the world is become more and more explored as of recent episodes. The next big thing to happen is down here in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a place that should have been explored actually like last episode, but wasn't. By that I ran out of time for Sri Lanka exploration. I think Sri Lanka would have already been explored by now, but whatever. Better late than never. And you may be wondering, who's claiming all of Sri Lanka? Well, the new independent federation of Sri Lanka, of course. Who else would claim Sri Lanka? India? Heck no. Actually, that might be vital for a new Indian empire. That might be key to a new Indian empire. But who knows? Uh, anyway, some more Siberian exploration is going to happen. Going all the way up here, though no one claims this time. And the worst thing in history is going to happen. That's the exploration of the newfound United Kingdom. That's right. They just found Great Britain. And they find this place and they're like, we're never going back. That is what they would say if they were logical. But they have no logic in their heads. So instead, they say, Red Team, Lena, we just found a new island. And they're like, great, we own it now. And the Belgians have taken on a task that is unbearable, and that is owning the UK, owning parts of Britain. I swear this is not the Wix, though it is Pro's Wixo Dutch team. This is a different Dutch team, okay? A Dutch team that is actually good. Not some evil Dutch team. Not the neo-authoritarian Dutch team. Not the fascist Dutch team. None of those. And anyway, soon the Americas might get found And that will be a fun time for everyone. Who am I kidding? It's not going to be a fun time in history. And Africa will not have fun either. But anyway, down here in Africa, some more exploration is going to happen. That also, this one I don't think is actually that accurate because this probably would happen later in the series, but who will? Whatever. Well, actually, this should be explored. Other wixos don't focus that much on Africa, which I find kind of like, why are you not paying attention to Africa? Like, he's Pros Wixo. Africa, until like episode 90, looked pretty close to how it looked in War. Like, when Africa got released. Well, not really too close, but as the continent most similar to it to when they were first released, besides South America, because South America looked almost identical. In episode 100, comparing episode 100 to episode, like, what episode they got released. Anyway, this country down here is going to get a lot of this land. Honestly, I really like how this map looks. Looks definitely like something from the time period I'm going for. But I'm not saying exactly the time period that this would be. It's up for interpretation. And I kind of lied. I don't know what time period this is again. I've said this before. But this seems like something that would happen over. Look, could happen in real life if we wiped out every country and civilization started over. Eventually, this might. We do that infinite times. This might happen. This exact Wixo might happen. Yeah. Though there's like infinite possibilities for this, for the concept of Wixo. There's enough unique combinations for a Wixo that you could probably like do infinite Wixos. You could do like 6 in seasons and still you could do like 16 million Wixos and there would still be like a ton of possibilities left. And Africa is getting more and more explored as recent as I've been saying. Africa seems like the continent with that I kind of paid the least attention to, and same with like other Wixo YouTubers. Kind of, we just skip over Africa, like, and then remember they exist suddenly. Like, remember they exist. Oh yeah, there's also Africa. Oh shoot, what have we done with Africa? Absolutely nothing. Crud. That's not a good thing. Anyway, this exploration down in Africa is going pretty good for Africa. Now Africa is starting to be more and more explored over time. The exploration of Africa is going pretty good over time. Now, one thing crazy is gonna happen in a second. Okay, Africa. I paused the video. I forgot what I said last, but Africa now looks like this. This is how much of Africa has been explored as of this episode. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. doing this. But that is kind of crazy. Africa is kind of having a more big continent. And anyway, the red team no longer exists. Oh, what was I saying? Why is it the red team's color? I was like, oh no, the red team's stuck with this color. Anyway, something's happening with the red team. Since all of this land is being explored, the red team has officially put in a claim over it. That's a pretty big claim, red team. The red team empire grows every episode a little bit stronger. Sorry about the background noise. Yes, I'm going to copy a color from his first Wixo, though it's probably not the same shade of the color. But hopefully most of y'all haven't watched Ada's first Wixo. Though if you haven't, all my references to his Wixo would be kind of weird to have all these references, so I'm probably not going to reference Ada's Wixo as much, but go watch it. It's a banger. Especially as episode 100. I wish I could make it to episode 100 one day. And anyway, this country, kind of colored like Ada's Pros China. Okay, I'll stop comparing countries to Ada's Proswick show now. But yeah, this continent of Africa is starting. No, not that. Anyway, there's a new country with the pink team's color. And this might be why I devised the pink team die out. Well, I had the hot pink team die out, not the pink team. India pink team is still here. The other pink team is kind of gone because how would it still exist? You gotta explain that. Ooh, and I found another color for for our country to be. Now the central country between Tanzania and the African coastal country right there is going to be right here. That color. Ooh, that's a nice color. Oh, they kind of have a similar color. It's fine. These two will probably never meet up anyway. But yeah, now with that out of the way, with all of that land claimed out of Africa, I think I'm going to do a power rankings. So obviously the power rankings have changed. I mean, look at the power rankings. China is still ranked at 16. And yeah, if you didn't watch the last episode, this is tough to see all of these rankings up here. But I didn't warn you, but I should have. I meant to warn you. So number one, oh, I like that color for the power. I'll use that color some more. No, anyway, number one is the red team. Number two, again, is going to be these guys. Though it's kind of closer between the two of them. Not the red team's losing power. The orange team's just gaining power a little faster. Before, no, number three is the purple team. Again, 4. Wait, no, 5. 6, okay. Now, there is the 7th strongest country in the world, which I'm going to be putting in Egypt again. Egypt's going to keep that. Now, these guys have not, they'd be number 8 on their own. No, they went up 3 rankings because of the military support they had. Now, number 9. Oh, wait. All of these recent accurate. Some of these rankings are inaccurate. Let me rearrange. I forgot to put a country in a certain place, so let's get next thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this Russian country is going to be at 4th place. Alrighty. Now, 5th place. We're going to meet who 5th place is in a second. Fifth place is going to be these guys. 6th place is going to be these guys. Now, 7th place would go to these guys. 8th place goes to these guys. Now, 9th place. Good old 9th place goes to good old Korea, as they just invaded there. And 10th place is going to probably go over to the Ukrainians. Now, number 11 is actually the Caspia. They dropped like 6 points. Though they're still strong without the aid of the Orange team. The Orange team went out because they got all their troops out of Caspia. But these guys are 11 on their own because of the strength that they had because of that old union they're a part of, and you know which one. The 12th. The 12th strongest country in the world. 12th strongest would be a tough one, but 12th, I feel that this Libyan country would take 12th. 13, I feel these guys would take 14. Now, 14 goes to these guys. And even though these guys are really big, they're still not that strong. So they get 15th place. So they're they're kind of strong though. In this, the influential boundary, everything has to be updated actually, not just influence. Now 16 goes to these guys. 17 goes to these guys. They're strong. They're powerful. Now 18 would probably go to you. 19 would go to you. And 20 would go to you. So that's the updated power rankings of the world. I made Russia is a little bigger, but yeah. Everyone else, because the Russians are the largest country in the world, I bet, by far. So it's not even close between them and the. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching today's episode of What If Civilization Started Over. And I will see y'all in the next one!